first blood already? Okay.
All right. Well, there you go.
Paparazzi died.
Blink and you'll miss it. Shout out to
Wow.
Pyrian Flex.
Wow. Yeah, thanks to Pyrian Flax for making us miss the first blood. How is that even possible? That's maybe the earliest first blood I've seen.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't actually know how that just happened because we didn't really get to see it.
Okay.
I think, if I were to guess, I think Paparazzi might have been checking for the mid ward and just got caught. That's probably the only way you die that quickly on an Ember in this situation. So, but anyway, good start for Liquid. Obviously, the first blood will go to Zai's Magnus.
Yeah.
He's going to take that extra gold with him to the off lane and probably get a faster... I would imagine Vanguard is going to be the first item you buy in this game, as it is the trend.
Kaka's going to be able to get the bounty rune, but it might cost him his life as well because there's so many members of Team Liquid here.
It's okay.
But he will eventually walk away. Zai takes some Frost Blast damage. DY, in the meantime, he's going to take a Blood Grenade, and he might be in trouble now, but there's the Earth Spike again, and the Frost Blast onto Zai, who ends up dying. They do find Kaka in the end.
They'll get DY as well.
And a couple more right clicks will do it, make it one impetus from Insania.
Yeah, so I think the panel raised some really good points about this game. First of all, the support duo of Xtreme Gaming is very uncharacteristic for the patch. We've barely seen either of these heroes played. And you can see what they were going for with the Lion pick to have the Mana Drain against Terrorblade once he gets the Shard, which he might even get for free because of the changes. But I think both Lich and Lion are acceptably... that's not the word. Are extremely susceptible. That was like a little bit of a mind twister there. They're very susceptible to Ench. I think this is the kind of game where Insania can just completely pop off. These heroes don't really deal well with the creeps. They don't deal well with the constant harassment from Impetus. So definitely the safe lane, I think Liquid favored here from a supporting perspective. And the off lane, Lich Drow? I don't know. I mean, maybe they can hold their own, but it's not...
It's two frosty heroes, so lore-wise they fit.
You don't really get to use the Frost Shield to play offensively, right? When I think about Lich support with a carry, I like to see Lich with, let's say, Ember, for example. Kaka's actually a big troll. He's dead.
Yep, indeed. Mickey's last right click is enough. I mean, this is a very hard lane to survive in. When Mickey's in his meta form and you have the Enchantress throwing out the impetuses, impeti, if you will. Very tough indeed. But, I mean, generally speaking, I have not seen a Lich yet. I have not seen a Drow yet. BSJ was talking about how these range carries maybe not so great in this patch. Would you agree with that sentiment?
I mean, I think for the most part, I don't know if the exact reason he gave is the full story, but I do think some of the key areas of the map, it's hard to gain position and play angles, like he said, because the flanking options and the terrain in particular. I think the terrain is the biggest problem, which is why we see mobile carries and mobile mid-cores be so powerful, is whenever it's time to fight around the outposts or whenever it's time to fight around the Roche Pit, having mobility seems really powerful because of the way the angles work right now. And Drow's just limited in that sense, in a different way than Terrorblade is, because Terrorblade can often just, you know, stand his ground and deliver. Drow has to always play on position, because when heroes get on top of you, you lose marksmanship, you lose your strength in the fight. Terrorblade, heroes get on top of you, pop BKB, you keep standing there and you kill them.
Yeah, but you can create a literal cliff. You create terrain yourself as Drow. It's like you're opening up the Source Hammer workshop tool.
That is true. We haven't seen the Shard.
Yes.
So,
well, okay,
see what that does.
In all seriousness, I'm trying to remember all the changes with Drow, but the big one is that the Shard was basically moved to the Ags. And that's a big deal because
the hero flat
minus HP
too.
regen was it was a very accessible item for her, and I just don't see like Aghanim Scepter being a thing on Drow.
It's too expensive. She doesn't benefit very much from the stats. I mean, the Agi's obviously
good. As Paparazzi versus Nisha. All right, Paparazzi, he pops the Fairy Fire. Nisha not with the full combo, not able to get that kill, so they'll both be low HP, low mana.
Yeah, really spooky here. They're both squeezing every little bit out of it they can. The problem now for Nisha is he's out of resources, so he has to walk all the way up to the bounty. If that bounty was taken away, he would have to go to base. Yeah, probably. But at the very least, it is secured here by
4-minute water rune's coming up as well, so should be okay. But yeah, we haven't seen the Drow, so we can't really rate this Shard. I mean, it's cool in nature. I don't know if it's actually good. It creates this cliff. Basically, if somebody's in the area around you, they get pushed down to the low ground, and you're...
Paparazzi will get this
one. He will get the water rune, but he's taking a lot of damage. Has that Flame Guard still activated?
The other one was denied by Insania.
Okay, well, looks like
Nisha
Kaka
would have
was
liked
probably
that
gonna
one,
get-
I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kaka was in the area, so he pretty much had to just
Oh, yeah,
deny
okay,
it.
okay.
And Sania looks like he's going to get run down. Oh,
Just not
like there was a blood grenade. There's a reflection
the
on Kaka.
fog.
Not okay. It does get the kill with the help of the Wild Wing Ripper. So Insania able to get some kill from the grave. Always nice.
Nice, JT. Very underused voice line right there.
Okay.
Yep. Applause. Very popular right when it came out. It has faded into obscurity, but it is one of the good lines.
I'm really happy that you're keeping us surprised on.
We don't get enough
voice
applause
line
at
meta.
Shannon. People just do offensive tips, you know? That's what it's all about these days. I like a good old applause.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Shout out
Give
to
you an
Pyrian
applause.
Flags.
That's an inside joke that nobody will understand. That's okay.
I'm doing it for Pyrian.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just to clarify, if
good
you're
lad.
watching, you're like, what's this shout out all about? Pyrian was like, I've talked to the casters and I've said, why don't you guys give me a shout out in the cast?
Yeah,
And nobody did it.
because it's very random. It's
But I'm all
completely
about
random.
that. So let's
Yeah, that's true. We are probably the ones to do that.
3 cheers to
JT getting
Pyrian.
surrounded, has to TP out. Nice block by Insania. It's going to be to the tier 1, so won't lose too much out of that. Does have the Vanguard, and I'm very interested what Ghost will buy after the usual items, which I would assume include like a Hurricane Pike.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, that really is the big question mark for Drow, because you're used to, like you said, oh, Kaka's dead
Kaka
again.
is
I mean,
dead.
this is just rough.
That's a Lion.
Are they gonna trade here? No. Mickey won't
Blade
dive
not
in this.
quite enough. Now that's healing salve as
Salved
well.
up, and he also had a Lotus, if necessary.
Yeah, what is up with him
What do
and
you
Lion?
buy on Drow? Right, because you can't buy the shard anymore. Or well, you can obviously. Let's rephrase that. You don't get hypothermia from the shard. You get the glacier, it's called.
Frost Blast onto Zai, Sinister Gaze to
Okay.
follow, and the Hex from Kaka, who just respawned.
Nice Gust.
Nice Gust. Beautiful layering of spells here from Xtreme. Lead
So
to the kill on Zai.
since you can't buy hypothermia except if you buy Scepter, which seems too expensive, I guess you still buy the glacier. It's probably pretty good. But
And that's the thing about playing carries these days, is you're not going to get it from Roach, and you're not going to get it, in all likelihood, from the Tormentor. So you do have to actually purchase it.
yeah, I think he will have to buy it if he wants it. And then I suppose you go Pike, Treads, into... What kind of game is this?
Gotcha.
You need a... I guess Liquid don't have the best backline jump, so perhaps you can go for a very stat-heavy offensive build.
Time
Boxy.
for Wisdom Runes, but there's the Impale. Shockwave to pull Kaka back. It's a
No!
musical chance. He actually pushes him forward. Kaka gets the Wisdom Rune. Can he deny himself to the Ancients? He's trying to, but Boxy gets the kill in the end.
I actually don't think he would have got the rune if
course not.
I didn't push him.
Of
Because
course not.
he had the Hex on Caudle, but I think Caudle could have body blocked him
Well,
and got the rune.
the saving grace for Liquid is Insania did get the other Wisdom
Yeah.
Rune, so the 1-for-1 either way. Always fun to see how these teams prioritize the different objectives in the game now. Like, have you noticed a difference between the beginning of the tournament and now in terms of prioritization, or teams just becoming more comfortable with the map, etc.?
With who gets the...
Any of it, Cinder. And thanks for contributing to this cast as always. Nisha with the Rolling Thunder.
this is more
Insania gets the slow. Okay, they actually Hurricane JT back, which made him miss one Rolling Thunder, but alas, it matters not.
All right, so redistribution of what exactly on the map did you say? Just the general overall map of
Are
Wisdom
teams
Runes?
playing the map better than they were at the beginning of the tournament, like noticeably so,
Yes.
in terms of prioritization of objectives and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that the support players in particular have got way better at being on the Wisdom Runes on the dot.
Zai trying to get
It's
somebody
very
on the
important.
cliff, I'm sure. We'll have to just skewer away.
Yes, Vanguard.
Yeah, he's pretty tough.
Was that a Pavis on him as well? It was. Caudle Pavis again.
Not too shabby. Clearing chains now from Paparazzi. You can see both his and Nisha's farm. Nisha's a little bit ahead, 300-400 gold at this current point in time. And Zai, he's taking a lot of right clicks, but there's a Pavis from Boxy, so he feels very comfortable, especially with the backup of Insania. Illuminate comes as Insania wants to go for Ghost with a couple impetuses. They're not going to find him quite yet. Instead, Boxy might be the one taking the brunt of the damage. TPing out is fine.
Okay. I mean, look at what Liquid actually forced there. They put the Pavis onto the Magnus, and he just walked in and
Hello,
forced the TP
Kaka.
rotation from
Earth Spike.
Paparazzi.
Reflection, slow.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I think he's
attack.
okay. Yeah,
There's a fight on the other side of the map, it seems.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Paparazzi getting chased. Shockwave will connect. Nisha, not too much mana at the current point in time, as you can see the Remnant in slow motion. Like a nice impetus charge, though. Mickey, though,
Mickey.
he's getting dove under the tower. He's going to get Sinister Gazed and stun locked and brought down. So a very big kill for Xtreme.
Tower is under attack.
And I think given the map state right now, I actually think this was a relatively possible gank to avoid, in all fairness. Like, you were playing deep into the enemy jungle bottom, you forced the Ember out, both enemy supports were missing, and you're Terrorblade, so could have just put a Conjure Image there and gone into the jungle, but maybe a little bit of a lapse of judgment there will lead to a very big kill for Xtreme. Their supports find purpose, they get the top tower, Doom gets a kill bounty on a hero with a killing streak. So that's pretty big for them to try to bring this game back to even.
Paparazzi takes a full swashbuckle. Nisha getting some mana back thanks to Boxy.
Just wait until he gets Diffusal. It's going to be so
Yep.
annoying. It's actually, this matchup for Ember is already problematic when the Diffusal comes out, because you lose so much of your mana pool, but you add the Chakra Magic on top of that, you do a double swash, and suddenly you can't play the fights as Ember. You just don't have enough in the tank. He needs a neutral item that gives mana, or he needs to just flat out avoid swashbuckles altogether while laning, which is very difficult.
Well, the Tier 1 tower was already taken out, as we saw from Xtreme Gaming side, and Liquid pressuring the Tier 1 bot a little bit, but being able to kill the siege pretty easily. As big rotation from Liquid. They have 4 members down here. See if they can actually successfully get this, or if Xtreme perhaps want to defend, because they're kind of primed and ready to do just that. DY ready with his Chain Frost. He's going to Frost Shield the tower to delay this a little bit.
They have
But
Blitz
it
as
looks
well.
like they might just be backing away.
Radiant's bottom
Okay.
tower is under attack.
I did think they were going to try to defend this, actually. They have Chain Frost, they have Doom,
They do.
but they don't have Finger, and maybe that's what is the difference maker here. Kaka is
Radiant's
not having his best game ever on Lion. He's obviously the player in the world on this hero, has a reputation for making it work even in patches when it's not popular.
The player.
So far this game, 1-5-3,
Dire's
and he's level 5-minute 12. So quite a ways away from where you would like to see him. But as we've talked about with Liquid yesterday as well, their supports are also not high level. I think among the teams that are considered to be some of the favorites for the tournament entirely, Liquid value their
Mr. Gaze
supports
actually
levels the
does
lowest.
connect. Didn't think they'd find the range, but they get the gust afterwards. Multi-shot as well. JT with the Hurricane ensures that DY of all heroes will be getting
Yep.
credit for that.
Nice to
kill.
get a little money on the Lich,
That's right.
or the Lich.
Well, if they
Not
give
nice
him
for
enough
anyone
net worth,
else.
then he won't be getting the shard from Tormentor, but he is bottom of the charts right now.
That's next level.
That's a good shard, though, the Lich. And I don't know how much that has to do with why they picked Lich, but I did talk about at the beginning of the tournament that I feel like this is probably something that teams are not prioritizing, but maybe they are starting to now, where you're picking a hero that, you know, maybe not as meta, but the shard is just objectively better than a lot of the other support shards, and I think Lich is maybe in that category.
Could be. I mean, the Ice Spire is definitely very good. I think it's also, it's lineup dependent, whether this is good. It's kind of like Tombstone, right? Does the enemy team have a good way of breaking it? If you're playing against, say, Snapfire or whatever, and she can just take it out, maybe it's not that big of a deal. A game like this, Terrorblade can maybe break it, but the other 2 cores are melee. So that definitely makes the shard look a lot more appealing. And if you keep that standing there in the
I
fight,
think
the
the
movement
difference
flow
is,
is
though,
pretty
like,
significant.
with Tombstone, you get your value over time, where the Lich shard, it
It's
just
instant.
needs to be up just for
Yeah.
a couple seconds, and it already has good value, I think.
Yeah.
As we can see, Liquid were smoked up. Not going to find an opening, though, as Nisha, I don't think, has yet to show his diffusal to the enemy. Now they're showing in lane. They will certainly know that that is ready to go.
Radiant's middle
And
tower is under attack.
from Liquid's perspective, offlane Magnus, how does he fare this game, you think? Because the Empower on,
Not the... Yeah.
like, Terrorblade, who's going to be... I mean, when you're farming in melee form, I guess it's really good.
The primary thing about Empower with Terrorblade, I actually don't think is for farming, but more so for fighting, because Terrorblade's farming speed is already very good with the illusions, right? He's going to farm the map. But in fights, when you turn into meta form, your bonus damage is base damage.
True.
That means Empower on you since that is a percentage of your base damage, is actually one of the carries that benefits the absolute most. Probably second only to, I want to say, Tiny. Similar story with Grow. So that's what it's good for, but it's not an obvious empower game, right? It's not particularly useful on Pango. A bit for farming, but not that important. And for himself, well, Magnus in this meta will mostly be going aura items, so again, you're not going to really be attacking for much. You're going to be buying Pipe, Greaves, maybe a Dagger at some point and a Refresher, but you're not going to go the dataless Magnus route. So yeah, Empower not the greatest, but they wanted an aura offlaner that was a melee strength hero to buy these things, and obviously Magnus fits the bill. Other heroes were banned. And one good thing about it here is that he is their potential catch later in the game for Drow. They wanted this hero is so weak when it gets displaced. That's Drow's #1 weakness.
And he can invade the cliff she makes as well.
Oh, yes.
The skewer onto the cliff. Very exciting. I do hope we see that. I don't know if it's a meme. I don't know if it's actually good.
Yeah, I want to see the shard in action. I want to see how the teams play around it. Doesn't look like he's buying it, at least for now. He's queuing up the Pike, of course, but wonder
Need your base items first for sure. Paparazzi looks like he wants to fight Slight. Just misses.
Slightly.
Slightly misses. Heh. Heh. As the Maelstrom almost online for Paparazzi. That'll help a lot with...
That's what I mean.
2 swashbucklers.
Like...
Yeah. What can he do?
It is so infuriating to play against this stuff.
And Nisha almost has his Blink Dagger and then is just going to go for the Aghanim Scepter after the fact, which will line up pretty nicely with his 15 talent.
JT's setting up. Waiting for teammates. Oh, okay. He got impatient, walked in alone, and Zai will skewer away. Power Rune coming up. Will be an illusion here for Nisha. Not the greatest this game. I guess he can break Gust, which is kind of nice, and Chain. So, you know, I take it back. It's a decent rune here. Obviously, needs to not get doomed.
Kaka showing himself in the top lane again as the Lion. Swash is going to miss. They do spot him, though. Earth Spike. Do they have a way to cancel? No.
Right.
Kaka lives. And he's only 500 away from Blink Dagger, so you're going to have that Blink Hex relatively shortly.
He needs to be very careful in this game about positioning, because, as is the case with Lion, this hero's stat growth is pretty bad from a defensive standpoint. So getting caught by Magnus, getting caught by a Pango combo, anything, you just die. So really, the dagger is probably the item of choice for that, so you can stand far behind the fight and just wait for things to develop, and finally look for a good Blink Hex when it's time, get your burst out. Ideally killing the Pango or counter-initiating a Magnus RP if he's skewering in, for example, for it. Does look like Zai will be buying Dagger after this Pipe. I really like this choice. I think going an additional Aura now is going to slow down the playmaking potential that they kind of need out of his hero, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels like a very, from both sides, kind of passive game so far.
Pretty calm.
We'll see at what point they actually want to ramp things up.
I don't know if Liquid are, if they could see the game state or not, if they're satisfied with what they've accomplished. Like, they've got a couple of towers, but they haven't really been crushing the lanes as much as you would maybe like. Like, the Doom is thriving, even though he's playing against Ench plus Terrorblade. The Lions game, definitely not the greatest, but he's still going to get a dagger in about a couple minutes. So.
And what else does a Lion need, really?
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely wants the shard this game. I mean, that's a big part of the reason they picked the hero, is to...
It's a 50-50. We'll see.
Monitoring the Terrorblade, sure.
We're 2 minutes away from knowing.
That is right.
And
that's the good thing. Either, whichever one they get, it's good. But I do think if they could choose, they would want the Lion one.
Okay. Paparazzi gets an Arcane Rune as most of Xtreme are smoked right now. And scan in the mid lane, of all places. That's interesting. Not going to find anybody, it looks like, so back to kind of passive gaming. Again, this is game 1 of a best of 3 for the lower bracket, so loser of this series is just out of the tournament. And apparently from Liquid's perspective, that's a disaster, mostly because they won't have a hotel anymore for all the people that are visiting, according to Blitz in that little content piece. And there's the blink, like you said, for Zai.
I talked to Pyrian Flax before this game. And
shout out to Pyrian Flax, of course.
He said he was going to personally cover the hotel rooms of the Liquid fans visiting in case they were knocked out.
That's why I just want to
give a quick shout out to him.
Yeah.
Really great guy, very philanthropic of him. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
So despite having a Doom, still 1k down is Xtreme, but I feel like they're in still a pretty good position as JT has the Crimson Guard. Obviously, he's had the Hannah Midas for a while. The Blink is ready to go. Does not have the War Stomp yet, though. Still sticking with the Hurricane. We'll see if he ends up opting to take one of those Centaurs over at some point. And, I mean, that's another thing we can talk about is it's past the 15-minute mark, so you're going to get a level 2 version of whatever creep you do take.
True.
Of course, the War Stomp one, you don't. It only upgrades in damage as the Impale. Okay, and the Finger. Insania is just dead.
We have
a kill.
Stack alert.
Yep, okay, one stack.
Number 1 for
All right.
Kaka. 20 minutes.
That's right. Well, speaking of 20 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
Tormentors, soon. Can Xtreme invade? Do either team want to invade the enemy side of the map, or will they be resigned, similar to what the game has been like thus far, to just farm their side of the jungle, their side of the map? BKB looks to be next for Paparazzi, has the Ogre Club right now. Basically just a recipe away at this point, plus about 500 gold.
I feel like, have we had this conversation before about the Ogre Axe?
That is not an axe.
No, so it is clearly an axe.
Yeah,
right?
It's not a club.
But it was called Ogre Club for, I want to say, 5 or 6 years of Dota 2.
Okay.
And it's been called Ogre Axe since then, which is what it was called.
Did I call
Dota.
it an Ogre Club?
It was called, you just called it Ogre Club. And
I did, okay.
with good reason, because it was called that for years while being an axe. And I was like, is it because ogres are stupid and they think an axe and they hold the sharp piece and hit with the handle and call it an Ogre Club? Or did Valve just not realize for 6 years that they misnamed the item?
6 years.
I don't know.
Tough one.
Always found that really strange. And then when they renamed it, nobody made a big deal out of it. It was like, why is this called Ogre Club?
Literally unplayable. I didn't see any memes concerning that. And we can see Ghost is an ultimate orb away from the Manta. So after that, we'll see what type of itemization he wants to go for, because I think that becomes a little bit more unclear as to what you want to prioritize in this patch for that hero. And obviously Mickey, very standard Manta into Scotty coming up next.
Wait, why does Nisha have a bottled wisdom rune? Am I missing? Is there any value to
The longer you hold it,
Huh?
more XP it gives.
Doesn't it scale every 7 minutes and it will be forced to be used every 2 because it's a bottled rune?
I thought it was still per minute. No.
Is it per minute?
Yeah.
Oh, he used it now.
I'm sure production can bring up that very helpful
It scales
graphic.
every 7.
I don't think so. But first Tormentor of the game will go the way of Xtreme. Will it be the Lich? Will it be the Lion? Very exciting stuff. It's going to be Lich.
Oh,
The Ice
Kaka.
Fire.
Kaka fans in shambles. What will he do now? He cannot afford the shard.
How much money does he have?
He is queuing up Aether Lens. He will get it in 10
Increments
minutes.
by 280 XP per 7 minutes. Okay, it doesn't specifically say it takes 7 minutes, though. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I do think it only scales every 7.
Okay, and into the Roche Pit, Liquid goes. Now, we already know what Tormentors do, right? They drop the shards. We got that. We got that. So likely Liquid will take this first objective, which is Roche, and then go into the Tormentor side, which it would be the Coddle or the Ench, which I assume they would want Coddle for the recall. I literally don't even remember what Ench's shard is. It's the
Little friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of little friends, great friend of mine, Pier and Flack.
Oh, Paparazzi's gonna find Nisha. There's the Gust, there's the Finger, and just like that, Aegis is gone. Paparazzi with the double damage. They have to be careful. There's the Ice Spire, no Chain Frost.
That's a nasty
Beautiful
one.
ult from Zai. Chain Frost is coming though, doing a little bit of damage, but you can see Insania from afar doing some damage with the Impetus. Big multi-shot coming in, so Liquid get a great RP and get 2 kills off the back of that, but the Doom applied to Nisha, and he doesn't have Aegis any longer. So that's going to be an easy cleanup for Xtreme, as the rest of Liquid are just going to back away. Weird-ass fight right there.
So there's a couple of really high-skilled plays there, right? Obviously, nice 3-man RP from Zai, but unfortunately, they couldn't combo the Pango on it instantly, so the fight started getting fragmented. And then what Nisha did afterwards was that he chased down the Drow. That's what we've talked about. This hero doesn't want heroes to be on top of it, so you're going to see... If it wasn't for this Hex on Nisha right here, these 3 heroes die instantly. What ends up happening now is Paparazzi will reset out. Ghost is playing, we talked about the positioning of Drow, playing really far off to the left. Nisha identifies this and chases him down, but in turn, JT knows this is going to be coming. He dooms the Pango as the roll is ending, and they finish him off with no connection available from Liquid there. So nicely done from both teams, really. some good plays, but definitely showcases all of the aspects of Drow, right? Did a lot of damage, had to stand far back, and had to be protected by Doom. And that's not necessarily always going to be possible for JT to do, but this time around, it was on the money.
Yep, Drow was certainly protected, but now a bunch of items are starting to come from both sides. Scotty finally there for Mickey, who is having himself quite the game. Top net worth on his team, and about 1,000 ahead of the enemy Drow. And obviously, JT is leading the way as
Straight up
Doom.
smoke here from Xtreme again. They don't have Doom, but obviously Liquid also without the reverse polarity.
Reverse polarity.
They will have it in
indeed.
15 though.
Paparazzi, they're going to let the tier 1 go.
It's pretty tanky, and he does have full coverage from his teammates.
Yeah, little do they know, but Insania, he's going to be the one to pop the smoke. Nisha comes in with the Rolling Thunder, doesn't have to worry about the Doom, as you said, and Paparazzi forced to BKB. As the Remnant away, DY is certainly dead. JT pops the BKB for himself as well, but a nice searing chain into a multi-shot from Ghost, doing so much damage. Nisha's just dead. Double kill for Ghost. Mickey gets the beautiful Thunder, though, as Ghost will have to force staff away, and now Mickey trying to finish off the Drow, but the Gust is there from the tree line. And JT just holding his ground as this very tanky Doom. Kaka on the other side of the map, basically, low HP. And Mickey, Infernal Blade, no more Sunder to work with, so Xtreme Gaming get a very valuable kill. In fact, they kill only the cores on Liquid.
That was a great fight. It was sick Chain Frost from DY. I feel like that did... It's actually only 1,000 damage, it says there, but I feel like all of the bounces were on the right targets at the right time. They killed off the Pango quickly, and they got down the Magnus as well before RP became a real threat in that fight, so...
Is Kaka gonna die to a tomato? What's going on here?
That's very relatable.
Kaka versus tomato.
Whenever we talk about tomatoes, you do make it sound like it's actually lethal for you.
It is. They're so disgusting. There's the jump in JT using Doom, knowing that the rest of Liquid probably cannot come help. And he is correct. Insania a little bit late. Not that he could have done anything.
So the panel was talking about that there's a good chance we get into this game state, and they favored Liquid late game. I don't know if I feel like it's that, if that's the case. Like, this Radiant lineup is no joke late game. You've got Doom, obviously one of the late game monsters. Drow has a tendency to do very well in late games if the enemy team doesn't have too much jump. And the only real catch Liquid have against the Drow feels to be the Magnus Axe, which I don't even know if he's going to buy the Horn Toss. Obviously now that that's the Scepter instead of the Shard. It has been buffed, but it's more expensive. Gonna be maybe a little bit
but
tough.
I've
and
seen
we're
that
starting
you're
to see
able
more and more
to
value of the Drow
BKB.
pick.
I've seen you be able to BKB during the Horn Toss itself still.
While you're being tossed
Yeah.
in this patch?
Yeah.
That sounds like a bug. Because Horn Toss is a stun now.
Yeah, I think it's like there's a moment of time that you can actually BKB. Maybe that was a bug and they fixed it, they hot fixed it, but I remember that was at the beginning of the tournament. I saw it happen to somebody. So I don't know if he even prioritized going for the item at all. Because in that current state, it feels unusable. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And Nisha does have Aghanim Scepter, not opting to go for the Lincolns yet, which that's the one thing that's going to destroy him during the Rolling Thunder. Especially if you get Ags, it feels like a lot of your net worth goes out the window when you get doomed, because your whole build is about rolling around and shield crashing during the ult. But looks like he'll be going for the Shard first.
Yeah.
He did have Lincoln's queued up as a secondary item after Halberd. We'll see what he actually prioritizes. This is now an Octarine finish for JT. He is super
big,
farmed.
the big boy. This hero's being banned in a lot of series for a reason. If not almost all series. I think it's like the contest rate of Doom is absurdly high. It's got to be close to 100.
Yep.
Alright, Ice Spire on the left from DY, really trying to get some coverage here.
How much vision does that give? Is it actually
No,
that?
it's
Oh, that's
within the ring, it seems to be.
That's pretty good.
It's like a pseudo ward, I guess.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you, Ops, for the red circle.
Yeah, very good. So Liquid are able
Classic
to take the
JJ.
Wisdom Rune on that side, and we'll see if Xtreme can counteract. Liquid are still on... they should still have access to that one for themselves, as the next Tormentor should be up relatively soon. And Ghost has the Shadow Blade, so going for the Silver Edge pretty shortly. and has not queued up a shard at any
Mickey.
point. Yeah, that's a lot of net worth on the side of Liquid just from the bounties, huh? As Mickey going high ground, he's going to get initiated on, though, and he's just dead. He blows up immediately. Insta-gibbed as Nisha forced to roll away.
Wait, what? Okay, so this is obviously really easy from our point of view to be like, what the hell happened? But, like, okay, let's see if they get out first, but I think they will. Maybe Nisha won't be so lucky, actually. Oh, he does have Blink.
He does have TP. He has roll up.
Oh, get out of here.
I think
So, like, from our perspective, it's obvious with how the teams are moving. I'm just wondering how Mickey is perceiving that moment. His smoke broke in the river, so he knows the enemy team are there with at least some sort of heroes, doesn't know who. And then he waits 5 seconds and just blindly walks up the high ground afterwards. So you're going to see here, this smoke had already broken 5 seconds prior, and his teammates aren't exactly in immediate proximity. A couple of them are close, like the Pango, but there's no instant RP follow-up protection. If he gets jumped, then it's quite a critical error. It's a big kill. Xtreme now will invade. Take some more map control here, push out the waves, and every Terrorblade death is a pretty big deal. Xtreme are starting to build a meaningful advantage.
By the way, now that we're watching this, JT still has the Hurricane. So is this just better than, for him at least, than the Centaur Stomp? That's very cool to see.
I think one of the really interesting things about the Hurricane is, first of all, it comes bundled with a 3 armor aura, which is obviously great against Terrorblade, but correct me if I'm wrong, this also breaks Linken's, right?
I mean, it's vector targeted, so I would think not.
You target the enemy and drag them, right? So it is a single target spell.
Is
it? It should just break Linken's, right?
Is it?
It's a vector targeted single target spell.
Huh. Okay.
I would think it breaks Linken's.
All right,
I'm actually
I'll
not 100%
assume you're right.
positive.
I don't.
Because if it
weird.
does, the reason this is interesting is that, similar to the Centaur Stomp, you know, you can force enemies into a worse position in the fight, whether you stun them or pull them. Both things are offensive. But in anticipation of Linken's, this is going to just often just flat out be better to have, right?
Okay.
If it does work that way. But yeah,
That's cool.
For now, I think the toughness aura is probably the X factor of this.
And the tooltips aren't showing like how the levels at all. Like, I can't tell if the Hurricane or the toughness aura go up with the levels of the creep. I assume the toughness aura should.
We'll need some time to learn these by heart. I genuinely don't remember which ones.
That will never happen, let's be real. It could be TI 25 and we still won't know exactly how that works.
This is a big moment here. Liquid are posted at the pit.
Yep, Rolling Thunder being proc. Nisha has to get it off. The RP onto basically nothing.
Actually
Doom
nothing.
onto the Terrorblade. He's already at half HP. Nisha with a good ult. That shield crash putting that Axe to good work, but Mickey is just dead right off the bat. The trade is DY, so certainly not even for Liquid, as Paparazzi trying to finish off Zai on the corner of the map. And the rest of the focus is on Nisha, who gets close to the gate. JT with very little mana to speak of, but Nisha as well, finally brought down. Second core dead for Liquid. Coddle is next. Zai still chilling in the corner. Looks like Insania will get out, and Zai somehow as well, but on the doorstep of Roche, this should be Xtreme taking the axe. That would be nice. The Aegis and the cheese.
So I think we're starting to see a bit of a limit. Okay, so I think he was trying for the blink. He was trying for the blink RP, but he got hit by a sleight of fist, and his dagger got cancelled. So really good timing there from Paparazzi, and unfortunate for Zai, obviously. But we're starting to see a little bit of a problem with Liquid's overall strategy here. They don't have a low commitment way of starting the fight, right? They can't like poke and try to find some way, like Slight Chains, for example, will allow Xtreme Gaming to select the fight. They can blink Hex and force stuff out. They can go in with Doom.
Yeah.
For Liquid's lineup, you kind of have to blink Skewer. It's your only catch. You don't have this little poke stun, and it means when Zai gets countered like that and is desperate to find an RP and doesn't get it, Xtreme Gaming can kind of just pile on top of them and they don't really worry about anything. So makes you wonder if Liquid have to itemize for this in a way, if they need to try to buy a Hex, but it's like, who's going to afford that at this point? You're not going to buy it on the Pango. He has other items that he needs. Your Coddle isn't farmed enough. Magnus himself? Maybe? Maybe Zai buys a Hex?
Yeah, perhaps.
Could be a thing, but more important than anything, I think the Magnus just cannot be exposed. He is not allowed to get hit first, because then the RP becomes impossible against this lineup, basically. You don't have BKBs, so you can't like skewer in an RP. Xtreme are way too good, and they will catch you with a Hex, they'll catch you with a Gust, with a Gaze, any of these spells.
How does
try to
Pavis work against, or with Blink Dagger? Does that also prevent Like you can blink after taking physical damage.
I would think you
right?
can if you're Pavist. Yeah, if you're Pavist and you get hit by someone, barriers protect blink,
Dire's bottom tower
so that should technically work. The thing is, if you get slight chained by, or let's just say slighted by Ember, your Pavist doesn't block the little instance of damage you take from Flame Guard while he slides on top of you. So it still isn't reliable when he's Pavist.
The enemy Tormentor. Will Lion get his shard this time?
Oh yeah, it's a 50-50 again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
50-50 between him and
Unlucky Kaka. There's
Emperor.
always next game to showcase why you picked your hero. Fortunately, it seems like Xtreme Gaming don't even need it, even though a big part
there's
of the
another
pick.
Tormentor on the other side. Since
That is true. Well, he could get another 50-50 on that one against his Doom. So, or no, it would be against Drow, as a matter of
yeah,
fact.
we need to see Drow actually rooting for that one. JT jumps in.
Yeah.
He gets the Doom onto Zai, who knows he's dead, so just trying to get some farm in the meantime. Well, I assume he thinks he's dead. There's actually nobody else near JT. The Doom's about to wear off as Ghost is going to be able to kill Niche on the other side of the map. Zai, another Infernal Blade. Going to Pavist himself.
Yeah, he will live.
Okay. He actually somehow lives. Or that was the Crimson, sorry.
Close. But yeah, like you said, Nisha, the bigger kill, gets found by
JT
Ghost
to the
close
low
to the Dire
ground.
base.
Dire's
Yeah, Nisha dying is a huge deal.
And this tower is not long for life. Liquid. All right, they're
Talking
going to get the Blink
instant
Hex.
hacks.
Insania.
Fight, but there's the RP from Zai, but he gets
Oh, the
instantly
Gust!
gusted.
Clutch!
No way to get his Wombo combo off. He's just going to get right-click down from the low ground. Mickey
right.
trying to take out Ghost in the meantime, but again, this is just the Aegis. Do they have a save?
That is still good. Ghost is in a really bad position.
Yeah, they
here.
have surrounded
Instant
him.
timing.
Nisha, nice job with the Rolling Thunder, but Shadow Blade trying to TP inside that BKB, but it's not going to happen. A little bit too ambitious this time from Xtreme.
Yeah, we saw that interview with Ghost prior to this match, and he was like, if I could steal a teammate from another team, it would be Team Liquid. Who do you think it is? And why is it Pyrian Flax?
Well, he's really getting his money's worth.
Yeah,
This Shadow.
better pay my dinner. All that brand awareness.
Well, a little bit of
kinda
a
like the
hiccup
mystery
for
of that.
Xtreme, but they are still at a very substantial lead, 14K. Roche won't be up anytime soon, but the Tormentor's available, of course.
Yep.
And
Here we go.
can see
JT,
it.
is he going to solo it?
Yeah, there's no way. Kaka, he's
Okay,
certainly
he's
not
wasting his time, effectively. He's not dealing damage.
All right. There's Paparazzi.
Here comes
That's who they
Papa.
needed.
Well, the supports have,
had to run
successfully
away.
taken so much of a beating, they have to leave.
This is a really slow
Oh my god, DY.
Tormentor. Kaka wants to contribute, and he
Yes!
finally gets his shard.
Congratulations, Kaka. He
36
can now
minutes
remove
in.
Terrorblade illusions at 37 minutes. It happened for him.
That's right.
There's a 1 in, what was that, a 1 in 8 chance that he would have lost it all 3 in a row?
I'm disappointed, though, because that means we're not going to see Glacier, and we're probably not going to see Drow the rest of the tournament.
They might
this
kill
rate.
it. They might kill it again.
Think so?
But then it's a 50-50 between her and Doom.
Yeah.
No, wait, Doom has his. He bought it.
Right.
Right?
Okay. He was sick of waiting. I mean, he has so much money.
He knows he's one of the last ones to get it, so. Yeah, so Drow will
be
get the next
guaranteed.
one if they do kill another Tormentor.
Please, we need to see Glacier.
Speaking of
I will
Doom,
be
here's the
very
Ags.
disappointed.
So doesn't have to worry about a potential Lincoln's coming out, but as a matter of fact, nobody on Liquid are even buying one.
Yeah, what's the point? How often, if ever, is it just like a very small percentage of the time that if you have the Ags on Doom that you still would Doom somebody instead of Dooming yourself? Or is like the whole setup just for you? There has to be some
It's something
scenario.
I've thought about myself as well. It's like, in some games, is it still worth buying the Ags if they're buying no Lincolns, right? Like, because usually you see Dooms buy this as a response item rather than as a straight setup. Because the thing is, if you Doom yourself and you blink in, if you get controlled by anything, the Doom might just go to waste. Whereas if you just hit the target you really want to hit, you could even die after and still win the fight because you've got that key spell out. In this game, I think he's relatively protected. Like, he's obviously super rich. He's mega farmed. He has 4,000 health, 30
They're
armor.
coming, Cinderin. They are smoked up. The RP, it only hits on Doom, which they're not doing any damage to, basically. Finger onto Insania, not enough to get the kill yet. So much shield on JT. Finally gets the self-doom off as Zai just getting taken out easily by Ghost. Nice Ice Fire placed as well, and so far it's a 1-for-1 off lane for off lane. Ghost very low on HP, might have to reposition completely or perhaps even retreat. As Mickey able to force staff to safety. Paparazzi already popped his BKB, so they're just going to wait that out. The Lich is an easy right-click kill for Liquid as Zai bought back into the game. Paparazzi TPing out.
I really thought that fight was going to go well for Xtreme, given that they solo RP'd the Doom, and he gets Frost Shield, he gets...
everything.
He gets Frost
Every
shield. I
shield.
think he got his Crimson off. He used BKB. He has a Trickster Cloak. It felt like they weren't going to be able to kill him, but actually just Liquid,
So with us.
through pure stubbornness, eventually killed the Doom by laying into him and dealing an effective, probably like 15,000 damage to finally pierce through all of that armor. And once the Doom falls, and he used Doom on himself like we talked about.
Paparazzi skewered back in. They don't have the lockdown though. Either way, this is going to be a lot of damage to this tower and potentially barracks, and Doom's not up for 30 seconds.
And they'll force the glyph here. JT 20 seconds. When he respawns, he will not have Doom. They know this.
Kaka showing himself, and obviously
yield.
kill those illusions very easily now.
It's a nice win for Liquid, though. That was
Yeah, that cut into the lead quite a bit.
and a great showcase of the problems for Drow, right? Again, this hero is very polarizing for a reason. The moment you start falling behind in a fight and enemies get on top of you, you're just not there anymore. You just had to turn tail and run, and you couldn't really stand and fight, whereas the Terrorblade was just popping BKB, standing still, and delivering the whole fight until it ended. So yeah, this is probably quite inspiring for Liquid, considering the fact that they Blink RP'd him, a Doom who got fully protected, and they still won the fight. Now they have a
RP is
straight up game plan for that fight. Yeah, it's ready again.
Runs into the Wild Wing. They know that they know now. There's the RP. It's only onto Lion. He's going to get right-clicked out, but no, the Eon Disc actually procs. It won't be that easy. Insania getting right-clicked by Paparazzi. That looks to be a kill. The Doom is still applied to Zai, who's running into teammates now, but getting chased by the double BKB Paparazzi and JT. That looks to be an eventual kill, but Mickey jumps in, gets the Sunder off onto Paparazzi. Nisha extremely low. Crimson Guard keeping him alive, but the right-clicks from Ghost are too much to handle. 2 cores dead for Liquid. Is Mickey trying to hold his ground? He does have to be careful. Insania. Looks like he's going to walk away as Paparazzi now pursuing. The steering chains connects. The Glimmer. It's going to be an annoying kill. Into the trees he goes, but they spot him. Do they have a cancel? The Sinister Gaze is there.
So, alright, that RP is just not enough, right? Last fight, they RP'd the Doom solo, and they lay into him the whole time until he died. This time, they RP'd a solo Lion who had Aeon Disc, and he just got away. And they did kill him ultimately in that fight, but he got all his spells off. He bought a lot of time, and the trade-off was that the Pango in particular got really exposed on Liquid's side and got killed off. In a way, maybe Liquid should almost be happy that this didn't go even worse than this. They kept their Terrorblade alive. I think Zai was aiming for a double RP on the Doom and Lion, but just barely outranged by the Doom, and at that point, that fight already looked super awkward for him, so... Yep, didn't get what he was looking for. And the good thing for Zai here is if he finds the Doom, he has a guaranteed skewer, because he has BKB. There's no counters. He just needs to find that one hero, skewer him into his team, and blow him up with the Terrorblade, and that's a recipe for winning the fights and winning the game. But if it ever fails, JT just creates insane amounts of space in the fight and just kills off the Pango.
And third Roche of the game, even a Chain Frost being expended, because this
one's
is
on the Radiant.
Aghanim Scepter. For some reason, he gets Ags on the Radiant side, and a Shard, Refresher Shard that is, on the other.
Yep.
That's a big pickup. Who takes it though?
Probably Drow. Get the Hypothermia running.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
It's better than the old Hypothermia. Drow is very strong now, so it does more damage per stack than it did before. And I think the stack cap is also higher, I want to say.
I think you can get, if I'm not mistaken, over 100%.
I think you get to
healing
9 stacks of 10%, I want to say. Yes.
Oh, is it not to 100 then?
Yeah, so it's a 90, but like,
Still,
come
insane.
on, at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost is very, very strong now.
He'd be stronger with the Glacier though.
Yep, absolutely.
Just saying.
Now the question is, has Ghost ever used this Glacier? If he gets it.
That's true.
Will he have the confidence to try it out? You see Hypothermia here.
I mean, it's not like it hurts, you know. Zai, okay.
Oh, nice Manta.
Manta.
Yeah, needs the Horn Toss for that. But
Indeed.
obviously, Zai doesn't have the Ags yet and isn't even buying it. It's buying Nullifier to purge off Frost Shield.
Xtreme are going to instantly smoke and try to find something. Of course, nothing big expended from Liquid. Paparazzi. Shivas. Okay, he finds Zai, but the instant bash coming out from that swashbuckle. Kaka gets stunned. There's the Eon Disc proc.
Oh, 4-step
Taking
cancelled.
right clicks from Insania now, along with Mickey, so that's a dead lion pretty much right off the bat. Big jump in again from Nisha. JT, he gets this Doom off, but he's taking a ton of damage. But Mickey gets 4-step into the Chain Frost. Beautifully done. Or if that was their own, then horribly done. Double kill by Ghost. And Xtreme win this fight. That Chain Frost owned.
Yeah, that was a great Chain Frost. And it was a good initiation from JT as well, right? This is what they need to do. And Zai didn't get the RP off. They get the opening on the Lion, who force staffs as he's getting hit by the Rolling Thunder, so he didn't even move in his force. And sure, they kill him, but the Doom and the Drow have to be accounted for. Killing the Lion isn't good enough. You need to get an RP on that Doom to protect your Terrorblade.
I'm a little surprised that Zai has not. Nisha has to be careful.
Nicely done.
I'm surprised that Zai has not gone for Eon Disc. I feel like it's all about getting off a good RP, and he's just getting destroyed before he can get anything off. Of course, Doom is an issue.
An interesting perspective, right? But yeah, the AoE Doom is still going to be a problem. XG, they will get their first racks here at the minimum. Oh, good disarm there. That was
They pop the refresher. Nisha doomed, and he just walks into the fountain. So he's going to have to sit this out for a bit. Boxy won't have that luxury, so down he goes.
Well,
yeah. He's going to doom his teammate now.
Okay.
Help! 29K lead for Xtreme. They get the top set of racks.
All right,
Paparazzi's
Paparazzi's
trying
toying with them.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay, this is a max damage impetus.
Yep.
It is capped, though. Remember when it wasn't, and you could one-shot heroes
Yeah, that
across
was
the
fun.
map?
Should bring that
That
back.
was a good time.
They get the melee racks on the bot lane, so that's effectively 2 sets of racks.
Yeah, this is a huge advantage, and they didn't even lose their Aegis in that fight, so they're actually ready to go again in a 1 minute when Doom has Doom ready. Would be the perfect timing to find a fight so they get value out of the Aegis instead of having it expire, so expecting to see Xtreme Gaming go for another 5-man move very soon. They'll take care of bottom lane for now with the Doom, push that out, but still maintain a strong position on the map with the rest of the team. And XG's JT, will he buy Travels 2 here? And connect
We've
with
been
them?
seeing less travels too.
Yeah, we definitely have.
At the beginning of the tournament, people were rushing that like second item.
Well, probably be connecting with his team now. He's pushed out the wave. Oh, he's
Just throwing it out there that the Liquid Tormentor's available.
Yep.
To get that Drow shard. No?
Yeah, if you go over there,
Come on.
they definitely could.
Come on now. Get that Glacier. No, you want it.
Lovely to talk about a shard all game, and it's the only one they don't get. Fantastic.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, I can't tell if it's a meme. It's like the Centaur card thing.
I don't know how
know.
good it is.
I actually don't know.
I think conceptually it's pretty interesting, but the
Yeah.
fact that Ghost hasn't bought it is pretty telling.
Is it though? A lot of times pros don't even try this new stuff.
I mean, well, he knew what his Ags was.
Oh, he just knew there was a big item for free. I want it. I'm position 1.
Yeah, I know. He wanted the shard too. He just didn't get to choose.
That's right.
Yeah, makes sense. Kaka.
Guy's gonna run right into Insane. He gets the instant Hex off. His Eon Disc procs again. Nisha trying to focus on him, but there's the AoE Doom onto 2 heroes. Boxy getting pretty low. Another
They
Doom
got
coming
the
up, but
RP
Zai
this time,
able to
but
get the RP this time, but it's really not gonna matter as they take out the Terrorblade. Nisha is next, and this is looking pretty grim for Liquid. Zai still alive as the double buyback from Liquid now. Paparazzi pops the Shivas, but he's gonna be fine.
It's JT getting the opening move every time.
Yeah, it really is.
The amount, like the ratio of Dooms on Terrorblade versus RPs on Doom that we've seen in this game is just extremely skewed
Oh, all right.
their way.
Got the skewer back onto Ghost.
Well, it's something.
Could be a
If they can
very
get him
big
even.
kill.
So fast.
Yeah, but DY, he gets off the Sinister Gaze. Hurricane Pike now. Look at the damage they can do from so far away. They have to disengage from the Ice Shire. Wait, what is it called? Ice Spire. The Shire. This is not the Hobbit, in fact. Bash connects from Nisha, but Insania is going to get run down, it looks like. Nisha gets off the shield crash. going to have to walk back into his base. There is a buyback onto Insania, and Mickey's up in 25, so they can probably fight again. Although Meta is down for 70 seconds still.
How does your brain work?
What?
The Ice Giant.
That's the alternate
I just have
universe.
this picture in my mind of Frodo just showing up with all his bling, you know. I come from the Ice Giant.
That's good.
Oh, shit. All right, this mid tower, not long for life.
Dire's middle tower.
Gyre, Spire.
Yeah,
You know, they're all related.
close enough.
All right, your Tormentor is now up. Please get Glacier. I'm begging you. Please. 25
Okay,
talent now online for
JT.
Doom.
All right, this is the true test. Can they be bothered? The answer is no.
Yeah.
They know it's there, but they're not going there.
I mean, it's a little riskier on that side, of course.
Yeah, whereas Kaka thinks it's completely safe inside
Well,
the Dire base. He's going to walk in and ward there.
Yeah, Liquid take theirs. They get the shard onto Coddle, which is recall, not the most useful when you're stuck in your base. But, you know, it is what it is. Roche, we won't know for another minute when he will spawn. We'll see how disciplined Xtreme want to be. This is a 50-minute game. And this is against the I mean, Zai has not had the biggest of impact, but it's something you have to respect.
Yeah, this is a game where Liquid can defend. Absolutely, it is possible, but the conditions now, I think it's pretty black and white. You need to RP Doom and skewer him into the towers and kill him. I think anything else doesn't cut it. Like, I think even if you find the Drow, RP and skewer her, I don't know if you have enough in the tank to blast her straight up.
JT
And
gets
he
the
finds
Doom
the
off
opening
onto Nisha.
again.
Infernal Blade to follow as well.
Oh,
Eon
and
Disc
this-
procs, so trying to get back to his fountain, but you can see the second Doom onto 2, including the position 1 Terrorblade. Mickey is dead. Zai with a nice
Buyback.
viewer close to the fountain as the buybacks come in from Liquid, but the Ice Spire, the Shire, whatever the hell you want to call it, doing basically nothing as Lich dies. But triple buyback from Liquid means that they're going to technically defend, but this lead is approaching 50k. They need to get more out of this. Kaka gets the Hex off now. There's the right clicks from Ghost,
God.
and Nisha is dead.
Holy shit,
No
the
buyback.
damage.
Zai skewers back. Mickey in that meta form.
Okay.
They do kill the Drow finally. Kaka is next.
Okay.
Vitafisk doing quite a bit of work as Kaka will buy back into the game. Does have his finger available.
Well, I mean, now the lead is the same as when the push started, because both Kaka and DY bought back here.
Yes, that is accurate.
And I feel like those buybacks are actually kind of nonsensical, because when Drow isn't buying back, you're not taking the fight anyway. So a little bit of a
Well,
heat of the moment kind of thing,
sure.
probably. Not the biggest of deals, I suppose. The big buybacks on Xtreme Gaming are going to be the Doom and the Drow. Those are the ones you really want to have in
This
your pocket.
could be a
and still
big
have.
deal because Roche is up in 7 seconds.
Yep.
And it is Radiant side right now. When does it turn nighttime?
Don't
in
have
3
to
minutes.
Pango and Drow has buyback. So, oh, Zai!
Yeah, Hex is there. JT trying to set up a kill. Paparazzi jumps in. Buyback onto Drow, so they want to finish this right here, right now. Sinister Gaze onto Mickey, and down goes the Terrorblade. No buyback.
Yeah, that's
that
gotta
might
be it.
do it. Boxy, controlled, destroyed.
A minute
Buy
and a
your
half.
goddamn shard, please. Kill. Oh, he got it. He got the shard. All right, we're going to follow Drow the rest of the game.
Wait, did he buy it? He must have bought it.
Yeah, he must have bought it.
Okay.
Time
Glacier?
to use Glacier before the game ends. Use it next to their fountain. I wonder how it works in Fountain.
Fun fact about the Ice Shire, one of the primary tourist attractions, there's actually the glaciers.
Oh,
So,
okay. That's great.
Yeah, that's Drow and Lich do come. This is a new lore. They are from the same region.
So you say. Crystal
Yes.
Maiden as well, I assume.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Nah.
They're going to go for the Megas to start.
Okay.
They know that
Very
these buybacks
safe.
are down.
Yeah,
They
whatever.
can certainly just finish the game. Please.
time.
Oh, he used it! That is the Cliff of Destiny for Ghost.
Oh, wow.
Gives him a little bit of extra range, and it looks very cool.
1,400 well spent. That's some insane value here.
I mean, if used in the right position, it has its value.
That
Obviously, right
showcased
now, the game
absolutely
is
nothing
ended.
about what the item does.
Very important.
It made no difference. Oh, you love to see it. He wanted to use it so bad, then you
Yeah,
will paparazzi.
there. We have the Doom again. Zai is just controlled to a high degree. Going to be easily brought down. Another 40 seconds for Mickey, who bought his Ags, but knowing that he doesn't have buyback, as GG's finally come out